Hey kids, you've just landed on the island of Kidstopia. Welcome back. Did you know that space is so big that it goes on forever? It's a concept that's almost impossible to fully grasp. Scientists call it infinite, which is a pretty big word for something even bigger. They use powerful telescopes and advanced technology to explore this vast expanse. Imagine trying to count every grain of sand on every beach on Earth. That's a lot, right? Now, multiply that by a number you can't even imagine. Well, space is even bigger than that. It's filled with countless galaxies, each containing billions of stars. Speaking of stars, there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. It's a staggering thought. Some of these stars are so big that our sun would look like a tiny speck of dust next to them. These massive stars are called supergiants. Others are smaller and cooler, like red dwarfs. These stars may be small, but they can burn for billions of years. Now, you might be wondering, what's a planet? Planets are fascinating celestial bodies that orbit stars. Well, a planet is a big, round object that travels around a star. They come in all shapes and sizes. Earth is a planet, and we travel around our star, the Sun. Our planet is just one of many in the vast universe. There are 7 other planets in our solar system, and each one is unique and fascinating. From the scorching surface of Mercury to the icy rings of Saturn. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through our solar system and beyond. The adventure is just beginning. Get ready to blast off into a universe of wonder. Ready to launch? 3, 2, 1, let's go! The sun is a giant ball of hot gas that gives us light and heat, making life on Earth possible. It's so big that over 1 million Earths could fit inside it. Imagine that for a moment. That's a lot of space, and it's also incredibly hot, with temperatures soaring to unimaginable levels. The surface of the sun is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than any place on Earth. That's hot enough to melt anything you can think of, from metals to rocks. The sun is so bright that you should never look directly at it. It can damage your eyes. Scientists use special telescopes to study the sun safely without risking their eyesight. These telescopes have filters that block out the harmful rays of the sun so they can observe its amazing features, like solar flares and sunspots. Did you know that the sun is actually a star? It's true. It's the closest star to Earth, which is why it looks so much bigger and brighter than other stars in the night sky. Other stars are much farther away. It's made up mostly of hydrogen and helium, which are gases that fuel its energy. These gases undergo a process called nuclear fusion, which creates a tremendous amount of energy, powering the sun. Without the sun, life on Earth wouldn't be possible. It provides the essential energy for all living things. It provides the energy that plants need to grow through a process called photosynthesis. And it keeps our planet warm enough for us to live, creating the perfect conditions for life to thrive. Our moon is Earth's only natural satellite. That means it orbits or travels around our planet. It takes about 27 days for the moon to make one complete trip around Earth. It's also the brightest object in our night sky, although it doesn't produce its own light. We see the moon because it reflects the light of the sun. The moon has no atmosphere, which means there's no air to breathe. It's also covered in craters, which are big holes made by asteroids and comets crashing into its surface. Some of these craters are so big that you could fit a whole city inside them. These different shapes are called phases of the moon. They happen because as the moon orbits Earth, we see different amounts of the sunlit side of the moon. The gravitational pull of the moon causes the oceans to bulge out, creating high and low tides. Mars is called the red planet because its surface is covered in rusty red dust. It's smaller than Earth and has a very thin atmosphere, which means it's very cold and dry. Scientists are very interested in Mars because they think it might have once had liquid water on its surface. And where there's water, there might be life. Rovers, which are like little robot cars, have been sent to Mars to explore its surface and look for signs of past life. One of the most famous rovers is called Curiosity, and it's still exploring Mars today. Mars has 2 small moons called Phobos and Deimos. Scientists think they might be asteroids that were captured by Mars's gravity long ago. Maybe one day, humans will even travel to Mars and explore the red planet for themselves. The giant of our solar system. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. It's so big that all the other planets in our solar system could fit inside it. It's made mostly of gas and has a giant red spot, which is a massive storm that has been raging for hundreds of years. This storm is so big that 3 Earths could fit inside it. Jupiter has a faint ring system, but it's not as bright or noticeable as Saturn's rings. It also has over 75 moons. 4 of the largest moons are called Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, is actually the largest moon in our entire solar system. With its swirling clouds, giant storms, and numerous moons, Jupiter is a true wonder of our solar system. The Ringed Wonder. Saturn is famous for its beautiful rings. These rings are made up of ice and rock, and they're so big that you could fit hundreds of Earths across them. Saturn is also a gas giant, like Jupiter, which means it's made mostly of gas. It's the second largest planet in our solar system, but it's also the lightest. If you could find a bathtub big enough, Saturn would actually float in water. Like Jupiter, Saturn also has many moons. The largest of Saturn's moons is called Titan, and it's even bigger than the planet Mercury. Saturn's rings are truly a sight to behold, making it a special planet. Uranus and Neptune, ice giants. Uranus and Neptune are called ice giants because they're made up mostly of icy materials. They're much farther away from the sun than Earth, so they're very cold. Uranus is tilted on its side, which means it spins like a rolling ball instead of spinning like a top. This tilt gives Uranus some very unusual seasons. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun in our solar system. It's so far away that it takes over 160 years to orbit the sun once. Both Uranus and Neptune have faint rings, but they're not nearly as spectacular as Saturn's rings. These distant ice giants are still mysterious and hold many secrets waiting to be uncovered. Shooting stars and other space debris. Have you ever seen a shooting star streak across the night sky? It's a breathtaking sight that leaves many in awe. But did you know? It's not actually a star at all. It's a small piece of rock or dust called a meteoroid that enters Earth's atmosphere and burns up, creating that stunning visual. The bright streak of light you see is the meteoroid burning up as it zips through the air, often at incredible speeds. Sometimes, larger pieces of rock don't completely burn up and make it to the ground. These surviving fragments are called meteorites. If you're lucky enough to find a meteorite, you're holding a piece of space in your hand. Imagine the journey it has taken to reach you. Asteroids are much larger chunks of rock that orbit the sun, often found in specific regions of our solar system. Most asteroids are found in a region between Mars and Jupiter called the asteroid belt, a vast area filled with these rocky bodies. Comets are icy objects that also orbit the sun, but they have a unique characteristic. As they get closer to the sun, the ice melts and creates a beautiful tail that streaks across the sky, a sight to behold. Comets are like giant dirty snowballs flying through space, carrying ancient materials from the early solar system. Black holes, mysterious giants. Black holes are some of the most mysterious objects in the universe. They're regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. Black holes are formed when massive stars die and collapse in on themselves. They're incredibly dense, which means they pack a lot of matter into a very small space. Because they don't let any light escape, black holes are invisible. However, scientists can detect them by observing their effects on the surrounding stars and gas. They're a fascinating and powerful force in the universe. Galaxies far, far away. Our solar system is part of a much bigger structure called a galaxy. A galaxy is a giant collection of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter held together by gravity. Our galaxy is called the Milky Way, and it's shaped like a giant spiral. There are billions of other galaxies in the universe, each containing billions of stars. Some galaxies are spiral-shaped like ours, while others are elliptical or irregular. The distances between galaxies are incredibly vast. And within these galaxies, who knows what wonders exist? Perhaps other planets like our own teeming with life. Exploring the cosmos. We've learned a lot about space, but there's still so much more to discover. Scientists are constantly exploring the universe using telescopes, spacecraft, and robots to learn more about the stars, planets, and galaxies that surround us. From the smallest meteoroids to the largest black holes, space is full of fascinating objects and phenomena. So keep looking up at the night sky and wondering about the universe. Who knows what amazing discoveries you might make one day? The universe is waiting to be explored, and the possibilities are endless. That's it for our space adventure today. Join us again next time on Kidstopia. Don't forget to drop a comment below about your favorite space fact you learned about today. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more awesome videos. Until then, keep dreaming big and discovering new things every day. See you next time!